Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here in Santa Monica with Peter Quillin, who takes on Andy Lee coming up in New York on a special PBC show that's going to be on NBC. It's a huge stage for you. You're taking on a guy who just won a championship. So for you to be on that kind of a platform now, given the things that happened over the past year, what does it mean to you?
Well, you know, it let me know I can make rough decisions and stay true to myself, most importantly. And number two is getting this exposure on this kind of network. It was worth the wait. You know, my wife is a producer for the Today Show, so she worked for NBC. Now to be able to be on the same network she worked for and have my own spotlight on there is like a blessing. And it's like just let me know that, you know, God works in mysterious ways. You know what I'm saying? You may think that you getting one blessing, then you get the other, and you got to just be thankful for all these blessings. And, you know, I'm very, very happy to be getting this exposure that I'm going to get. And my job is to not only look good as a boxer, but also look good as a man and a father.
Now, you mentioned father, you just had a baby. Congratulations. How's that really change the dynamic of being a fighter for you?
Well, it haven't really changed the dynamics of being an animal like I am, but just being a smarter animal, being the one that, you know, successfully hunt and get the food. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking a lot more smarter now, not just in terms of being just a fighter, but just in being in terms of a man. And, you know, where I want to go in life. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to be stagnated. You know, we looking to always bring our work ethic up a little bit more. I'm always, and especially in camp, I'm expressing to my team, it's really not about egos, it's about the team effort. You know, that's what builds the house, is that you put the team minds together and you can build a successful house. And that's what we're doing right now, so that all the other stuff don't even really matter.
You know, you were out for a year because of things that happened in your life. I read a story the other day that you explained as to why you vacated the title. But to you, if you could summarize that year, really, how was that year for you, the year away?
Well, you know, I had some personal information as far as, you know, what was going on. It was going to be some huge things in boxing, and I took Al Heyman's word for it. But not only that, it was like the timing. You know, I was a new father, and, you know, I never had that kind of experience having a kid. And, like, I seen my kid being born, and, like, immediately it became an emotional thing. You know what I'm saying? I seen him born, and I was like, man, this is me. This is a little me, and this is a little person that's going to be dependent on me. You know what I'm saying? And I seen my wife hug my kid. It made every hug I never received from my own moms go away. It made me forgive my mom for never giving me hugs and stuff when I was a kid. So, you know, it was a big emotional thing. And on terms of that, too, you know, my uncle had cancer, you know what I'm saying, pancreatic cancer. So, you know, he was keeping it a secret for a while, but we knew something was up because he was, like, losing a lot of weight, and he wasn't being honest. And then when he finally came out and told everybody that it was, like, cancerous cells, me and him had, like, a one-on-one conversation. So I just felt like I needed to be there for him. And, you know, he lost the fight just, you know, right when I came here to camp. So I had to make a rough decision being not able to attend his funeral. I cover a lot of the costs, and I had some time with him. He got to see my kid a week after. That's when he passed away. So I was dealing with that, and I was also dealing with, you know, management and the promotion and the whole, you know, transition of what, you know, Al Heyman had planned in store. So, you know, I'm just very glad that I got through all that roller coaster ride, you know what I mean? And now I'm just on a good roller coaster enjoying the ride right now.
Given all that happened, do you feel that the fight, when you fight Andy Lee, it's going to make it that much more emotional?
Well, you know, I was emotional one-on-one because, you know, I had so many people telling me that I wasn't able to be a champion. I had to hear that constantly, you know what I mean, or what I was doing wrong. So it made everything I wasn't doing wrong in those people's eyes go away because I became the champion without none of the opinions of those people. And, you know, it's crazy that I was just listening to a Kendrick Lamar song today. He's like, where was all those people at when I was walking? You know, where was all those people at when I was homeless? I didn't have nowhere to go. You know, all those people wasn't there to give me not a cent of advice for me. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense now that, you know, so many people got so much advice and so many opinions to make me a better person when I'm already on a mission with God by my side. So, you know, for me, it doesn't even matter. It's just I'm going to go in that fight, and I'm going to do what I usually do, and that's go in there and be the winner that I am. I'm a winner in spirit. You know what I'm saying? I'm 31-0, 22 knockouts, and you know, I'm just going to keep proving that I'm able to be the winner under every circumstance.
You know, the last thing on that whole subject of that year off, for you and for many fighters, the goal of becoming a fighter is to win a world title. And for you to give up the belt, that must have been something very, very hard, because that was something you worked so hard for, given your time growing up, where you grew up, getting to that point as well.
Well, giving it up, I was dealing with a lot of stuff to, like, business wise. You have to. I learned, like, what selling yourself for selling your soul to the devil really means. It means really making unethical or unmoral decisions for yourself, decisions damn near you can't hardly live with. And having that belt in my hands made me the champion of the world. You know what I'm saying? Made me, in a lot of people's eyes, the man. You know what I'm saying? And to give up that position, was a hard thing to do. But it made me realize I was a bigger man than that belt could ever allow me to be. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't not a hard thing, because I still got all my friends, I got my family and people that truly support me for whatever reasons that I do what I do still around me. So it made me realize that I became bigger than the belt. And, the belts are a good thing, especially when you're a kid and you grew up struggling and you never had nothing. But, like, what I've done in my life and what I've received, made me feel more of a champion than that belt could ever allow me to feel. So I'm thankful to be able to be the champion, and I got to experience that part of my life, but it also taught me a lot of stuff about myself.
Now, this opponent that you're facing, Andy Lee, is no spring chicken, but he has a lot of experience as well. He had a very impressive knockout over Cobra in his last fight. What's your honest opinion of him as a fighter?
Well, if he was a spring chicken, I'll be surely eating some chicken that night. No, but honestly, I'm 31 years old, man. I don't got nothing bad about him to say. I'm going to be respectful to him because, he did something rightfully right for himself, which was become the champion. A lot of guys try to do that, especially when he gone under so much scrutiny and what he's been through his whole life. They keep asking me, what is the biggest what is his weaknesses and what is his strongest point? I think the strongest point is when he was at his weakness, when he lost those fights and he had to come back and became the champion of the world, which tells a lot about a person like that. So really just going to make it for an entertaining fight all the way around. So I really don't have really much to say bad about him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking forward towards the fight. We putting endless hours of work in the gym. We got both, Eric Brown, who's been there in my corner for 5 years. We got Rafael Ramos, been working as an assistant to Eric. He's been in my corner since a teenager. And, I'm very thankful in this part of my life. I'm able to bring people together and for a great cause. You know what I'm saying? So Andy Lee's just part of the story of that. You know what I'm saying? And, I know he's trying to create his own legacy and he's trying to do what he need to do. And I'm trying to do the same thing. And, this is why this fight has been made. And, people should be tuning in April 11th to watch this fight because I'm putting all my guts into this fight.
Given his last two performances, did you get a chance to go ahead and see those fights that he had?
Yeah, I watched a few rounds. I'm not a big thing to watch and fan. I'm a fan of boxing, let's say that first and foremost. But I'm not a fan of no middleweight out there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not. This is not what I come in the game to do, is be friends with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I look at all these guys like they can be food at some time of the day. And that goes for anybody out there. You know what I'm saying? So I rightfully respect everybody as a man, though. But, as far as when we got to get in there, I got to lose respect for these guys. And that goes for anybody out there. Andy Lee is no different from that. And I watch some of his fights and, but I'm not a guy to break down them videos. That's what Eric Brown's and Rafael's job to do. And we work on the things that they see. I actually like learn a guy right there in the ring. You know what I'm saying? That's all my fights, and I learned that it's not about the whole fight. It's about one round at a time. Like I do my days. I take it one day at a time. So, I think he's a good fighter and everything. He's very good at what he do. But, it's a separation when you God gifted. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing this only with 15 amateur fights, and I should get some credit for that. And if nobody want to give me credit, I'll give myself credit because I go in the mirror morally and tell myself that, the only person that can value me is myself.
Let me ask you about the whole credit thing. It seems for the better part of the year that there's been a lot of criticism thrown at you in terms of fights not being made, and I kind of see, the fans online leave messages and everything for you on your Instagram or on your Twitter. When you see those things, do you ever ask yourself, why are these guys coming at me? Like at one point they were like this with me, and then now they seem like they're against me now.
Man, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
It's really out of sight, out of mind. These keyboard gangsters, you know what I'm saying? These guys, like, if they was really accomplishing something in their life, they wouldn't have the time to be on mines being negative. If you're gonna be on somebody page, won't you say something positive? Because I ain't telling your kid to go rob a bank or go get a gold chain. I'm telling your kid, if he works hard for what his dreams are, he can acquire them. So, I look about what my message is. My message is a positive message. I shouldn't get like a negative response. So yeah, of course, I'm just a small pond with many fish in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, sometimes a casualty to what the politics of boxing can be. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of fights out there I could be fighting, and I think it's a time and a place for everything. I called out Sergio Martinez before I had a belt. I called out Jermaine Taylor when I only had a few fights on my hand. I called out, a lot of these different, Kelly Pavlik. I've been calling Kelly Pavlik out when he was the champion. Felix Sturm. Like, my voice was unheard then. And guess what? I still sometimes feel like it's unheard, to the point where I just gotta really focus on the message that I put out. It's not about, going out there and just fighting the best. It's going out there and preparing yourself to fight for the best. And that's what I focus on more so than anything. When it's time, we've been waiting on the Pacquiao fight for like how many years?
Forever.
Right? And now it's finally made. Do you think people lost interest in watching it? Now that it's being made, no. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, things are easily said than done, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I just stay focused, man. And what's positive to me, like I said, I got an awesome gift. I got a baby, you know what I'm saying? And I want to have another one. And I'm very thankful to be able to, put out good energy out there to the world. And I hope they receive it with open hearts.
Now, on a final note, I know every middleweight is kind of plagued by the shadow of Gennady Golovkin. You've said on many interviews that it's really not a case of you don't want to fight him. It's a case of the timing has to be right. The money has to be right. Give me your viewpoint on that. Elaborate on that. What does it mean when you say that the timing has to be right and the money has to be right?
Well, like Mayweather and Pacquiao became one of the biggest fights in boxing history in the century of boxing. This fight is like so mega that, you know what I'm saying, sometimes that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much me and Gennady Golovkin would get to fight each other right now, you know what I'm saying? But I know I invested many years into this, and I'm pretty sure he done the same. He invested his whole life with being an amateur, stand out, and, becoming a champion in the world. So when it comes to, like, business people, his people that handle his business and the people that handle my business, they're going to make sure that the money is worth it. You know what I'm saying? So when I say the timing ain't right, it must mean that, the fight ain't been happening because the money must not be right. It's because on his part, you hear him that he want to fight me, and you hear on my part, I want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I don't come in a game to be scared of nobody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I used to be scared of them ass whooping my mom used to give me when I used to misbehave in school, but
coat hanger.
Yeah. Whatever she can grab. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I feel you on that part.
So when it comes to, like, being scared of another man, what can another man do to me that I can't do to him? You know what I'm saying? So, I try not to be frustrated from it. You know what I'm saying? I just remember that why I do this. And what I've done this for is become a champion. I became a champion. And becoming a unified champion is the next on the goal list. But majority off of everything, I just don't want to retire with no money in the bank. I want to go on and be great at other things and making sure that I'm not a casualty of what people say, what they say about athletes. I want to stand different, and that's why I chose this time where it's just like time to step up and class myself different amongst the rest of them.
So it's really a situation where that the money has to be right in order to face Gennady. They have to offer you the right amount that you feel would be well for you financially outside of boxing, but also respect you in the status that you have.
Of course, you know what I mean. Like, I got really important people handling my business for me, so they exactly know what they're doing. The guy that's handling my business got the highest paid athlete in the world. You don't usually hear that for boxers, right? Mm-hmm. You usually hear like LeBron James, but you hear about a boxer being one of the highest paid athletes in the world. That's really unheard of. That should inspire a lot of boxers that they can reach that level too. So, I'm very fortunate to have a guy like that handle my business, and I know behind the scenes he's definitely looking out for the best interests of the fighter. So, when it comes to fighting, that's my job. That's what I worry about more so. I don't worry about who I fight. When it's time to fight that person, I just come in with the team and we prepare, come up with the best strategies, and go out there and execute. And that's what I stay true of. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the politics of it, the money and all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing my part in a big pool with many fish in it, like I said. And You know, it's only 2 dudes or even 1 dude considered better than me right now, and it's those guys. So hopefully one day those fights are going to be made, and, you know, my job is to go up in there and become the winner like I always have.
I remember one time in an interview, you told me that you would never get or cover the teeth that you were missing. And I see you have veneers now, which is fine. It looks good and stuff. But do you ever think back of those days, really, you know, just way back when during moments and kind of just think like, wow, like everything worked out the way it's supposed to?
Yeah, when you young and dumb, you say anything. You know what I'm saying? I could just say, I got these fixed. It was a shout out my wife. She really talked me into getting it. And since
You didn't want to then at first.
I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe that it shined character on me.
Yeah.
And what happened is that I kind of got talked into it by my wife and the guy that did it, you know, and, you know, told me he was going to take me to a whole nother level that I never thought I could be on. And since then, I've been on, like, numerous things, making the rounds on ESPN. I've been modeling all kind of suits. I've been on the Today Show numerous times, modeling. I actually got to do a movie with Miles Teller, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I can say basically now I'm very thankful that I have grown up and I just make, you know, the best decision when it comes to, you know, making money outside of the ring, and these have been a big help.
Look at those pearly whites. Peter, it's great seeing you, man. Can't wait. Fights on NBC April 11th, taking on Andy Lee on NBC.